This I don't miss. This I haven't missed.
What?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Club. I'm Marty, and I am joined by Celebi Joe
Hello.
and Birdkeeper Toby.
Hey,
And we
Pokémon Masters.
haven't done this for a really long time. How many months was it?
15.
15 months. Because
Over a year.
over a year, because and Sebs has changed. Sorry if I keep going behind my microphone. Things have been a bit crazy, and the
hasn't been
film
one
hasn't been a movie. Coco, as it was known in Japan, this movie was meant to come out last July, but due to the situation in the world, it was pushed to Christmas Day. So quite a long wait there, and obviously because of situation, people not being able to work together in the same building and social distance and whatnot, we haven't had a new film this year. So it's the first year that's not happened. There's been no brand new Pokemon film, but back in February, was it Pokemon Day they announced this for us?
No,
It was
it was
week.
November last year.
November last year?
Yeah.
I feel like we saw a trailer in February.
No, we got nothing from November until August.
We had like an English trailer a really long time ago for this film. And yes, I think I remember now, because I was like, we'll get it Pokemon Day. We'll get it that week. Oh, how very wrong. Because we are now, at time of recording, in October, and it came out last week. And finally...
It's like over a year since it was meant to come out, isn't it?
Yeah.
That it's now here. It's been a while.
It's been a while, and it's all weird. And I don't know, hopefully we'll get another Pokemon movie next year and things.
I hope so. Things
Healing.
are starting to get back to
Yeah.
some form of normal.
some form of normality. And we've been waiting a really long time to see this film. But was it worth it? Now, so in Japan, I think we'll start with Japanese release. Obviously, it came out Christmas Day. And the pre-order
Right,
bonuses.
so the pre-order bonuses were originally meant to be a shiny Celebi and a Zarude. You were meant to get the shiny Celebi in April of last year and the Zarude on June 15th of last year, which is before when the Isle of Armor came out, which indicates the Isle of Armor was actually delayed a little bit. But then they eventually got delayed, and it wasn't until September that Japan managed to get the shiny Celebi and the Zarude.
And they were, if you were to pre-order tickets.
Yes, they were a pre-booking bonus, and then when you
and that's how we got them.
Then when you go to the cinema, you'd get a serial code to get Dada Zarude.
Yeah. And Joe has friends in Japan that very kindly helped us out in exchange for the other pre-order bonus.
Which is a Pokemon trading card game or cards of Coco as a Pokemon.
A human character as a playable
Pokemon.
as a Pokemon,
And
not a
you can use
trainer
it-
card.
You can use it in
Really cool.
competitive play. Well, you can't in English, but they wouldn't really allow it
Japan,
at
you can use
Worlds.
I don't. Is it a promo?
Yeah.
They probably would
I think
for Japanese
for
players,
Japanese
right?
players, yes, but
But
for
remember-
Worlds, I think the rule for Worlds is the card has to have been available in all markets.
Yeah, because
Because there was a
fairy
problem
type
with
Tapu
Tapu
Lele.
Lele,
Yeah.
which was meant to have come
Got ya.
out in
The West,
but
wasn't.
it had been delayed. So a lot of Japanese players with the
Makes
Lele
sense.
in their deck couldn't use it.
And in addition to the distributions for the main series game,
makes
there was
sense.
also a Pokemon Cafe Mix thing.
Tie-ins.
Where you could get
loads
Shiny
of
Celebi.
tie-ins.
There was two Pokemon Masters tie-ins. There was one where you got Jessie and Arbok in a story which involved Shiny Celebi, and another where you got James and Weezing in a story which involved Shiny Celebi. Pokemon Go has had two technically free different events. One which involved special research to get a Shiny Celebi, and another which involved special research to get a Zarude, all free of charge, which is very nice of the Pokemon Company to do.
And the event has wrapped up now for
Yes.
the Pokemon Go at the time of recording.
Yes, it wrapped up.
But can you not? can you not still access the shiny Celebi one?
No.
Am I
You
right?
needed to.
You needed
It's
to have
gone.
started the research.
I've done it.
You needed
but-
to have.
Oh, as long as you've started the research, right? Yeah, sure.
It's just with the event not running, it may be harder to complete certain tasks.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, there's like catch 30 bug or poison types, and there was
Right.
boosted spawns within the last week.
That's it, that's
and
it.
now there's lots of ghost types spawning. So,
Sure.
but yeah, there was a bunch of
But it's
crossovers. Like the biggest synergy, I reckon,
Yeah.
in like. I think I can remember.
There was some
Pokemon.
of Mewtwo Strikes Back evolution with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, but
And there was a subtle one with the Power of Us and Pokemon Go.
this seemed a lot more
Yeah.
well-rounded.
That's I think that's more indicative less of this movie specifically and more of just the Pokemon company in general over the last few years. Like that, you can really tell that they're like, wow, we have this network of,
promotion.
you know, Cafe Mix and Quest and Masters and Pokemon Go and, you know, Sword and Shield and Snap and Let's Go and, you know, now the upcoming year. They're properly on it. When there's an event, when there's a theme, and they're like, we will, every corner of the Pokeverse will get this.
Yes, and because even the TCG set, which came out around July last
the
year,
Zarude.
Legendary Heartbeat.
Legendary
that
Heartbeat,
has
that's right.
Zarude and Celebi as the
Yeah.
focal Pokemon. The July,
Yep.
June-July set
Vivid-
typically
Vivid?
always is a... Yes.
Yeah.
The June-July set in Japan is typically always a soft movie tie.
And that was Zarude's reveal in the TCG. We first saw Zarude...
And Amazing Rares. Amazing Rares.
Amazing Rares
yeah,
as well.
those lasted.
So, as per Movie Club tradition, so we talk about the new Pokemon being Zarude, and we didn't know about it because it wasn't able to be data mined or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the first time we saw it was in a trailer.
Well, they did a reveal. They put its silhouette in Coro on February 15th, 2020. And then they said it's going to be revealed on Pokemon Day 2020. And it was at the end of a stream, which was about the most popular Pokemon. And Greninja won that one?
Yeah, that was
Right,
weird.
that's
I remember
right,
that. And so we saw Zarude for the first time Pokemon Day.
Yeah.
And at that point, we didn't know about the Celebi.
Well,
link
we had...
with the film.
We had...
When did we find out the film after?
The day after.
The day after we found... That was the first trailer, wasn't it? The day
Yes.
after.
We had a poster, but no trailer, if memory serves.
So we saw the trailer a day after, and then, like, here comes Shiny Celebi on that trailer, and it was like... And then we saw, as we now know, Dada Zarude with the little pink cape on, 251. We do actually have the cape.
I do have the cape, yeah.
Yeah, which Joe
I'm surprised
imported.
you're not wearing it for this.
I
for
just
this.
thought that, but it is very gently pinned
No,
up in
there was
our...
a trailer in January 2020 which showed the shiny Celebi first.
Oh, okay.
I thought that there was. I just needed to check. And that was the same day as the Pokemon Direct, which revealed the DLC.
I don't want to tangent too much, but I do remember thinking it was kind of not odd that they chose Celebi for this film, because I know obviously with the latest films from I Choose You onwards, they've been really focusing on like revisiting a couple of the main hits from previous films. So it made sense that they did Celebi, but given that Celebi and then obviously what we got in Crown Tundra with Calyrex are very similar Pokemon in a number of ways, I was kind of surprised that they didn't tie. I mean, maybe it was just too soon for the Crown Tundra promotion and stuff, but
Yeah,
just to like tie into that.
How is Celebi and Calyrex similar?
They're both psychic.
They're both
and
psychic.
grass.
They're both psychic grass types. Celebi travels through time. Calyrex can see through time, I believe, or has some time-connected power. Guardians of Forests.
They both got massive noggins.
Yeah, I mean the Celebi card, the Ace Label 10 is literally in the place where you find Calyrex in the Crown Tundra. Like I think they're pretty closely tied in, and I just found it interesting that like obviously with that being a new legendary Pokemon they want to promote, that they didn't go that route. But then I guess if they are revisiting and trying to have something new and something old, maybe it makes sense. I guess
Maybe Calyrex in the next one,
Nah,
or maybe
it was going to be Calyrex.
or maybe Calyrex will be to do more. That it will have an anime
I think they'll have an
tie-in
anime tie-in.
for
Probably.
for its mythical.
It's not mythical.
It not.
No.
No, definitely not.
Well, then no, then no. I don't think it should be in a film. So yeah, new Pokemon. That's the only new Pokemon.
Best new Pokemon.
Joe.
Cool Pokemon.
Okay, we're just gonna
Good
have to
Pokemon.
get this out the way. Joe likes Zarude because
Yeah.
Its design is perfect. On the left and the right, it's got green, which is a very specific green, and in the middle, it's got grey, which is a very specific grey. It's beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. Its design is impeccable.
I think there are a couple of other webmasters out there who disagree, but it is literally the Celebi net like Pokemon that's not
It's-
Celebi, but it's in a movie with Celebi. This is like the perfect film for you,
Yeah.
right?
like, yeah, it's. Obviously, we're not making any claims that they've totally done this for Joe. Not saying that.
No,
let's
sure.
get out. But it's just
The colour scheme
The colour
is
scheme-
No, it's not identical. It's within like 5 RGB values. And that is very
That's
unlikely.
nuts.
Both
It's very
both
cool.
the vines and the body.
and then its relation to Celebi. It's like that's really
And I use
that's,
that lighter grey in part of my tables.
that's really creepy. It's very, very creepy.
Maybe,
for a
look, maybe there is
coincidence.
someone. Maybe there is someone at Pokemon, who they just said, "Look, we're got to make this mythical Pokemon. We've got the red of Zamazenta, we've got the blue of Zacian, and we need another Z Pokemon. It's gonna be green. Here's our inspirations, yada yada yada." And they just went, "This one's for you, Joe." And they drew it up and they got it out for you.
I don't know.
I very much doubt
Being
it.
what it is, it's really like. Okay, let's talk Zarude's design. I think that's is a good point to talk about it. It's scary.
It is. It's got a very haunting look about it. It's wearing the mask,
with the eyes, and it's all like,
Yeah.
like angry.
Angry.
It's
Look at
angry
him.
monkey.
Look at him.
It's angry monkey. And like at the start of the film, no World of Pokemon opening, which you know.
They haven't
We'll
really
see.
been doing that at the
Um,
start with any of the movies in the alternate timelines.
I
Come
can't
to think
remember
of
the
it.
last time, but I just thought it was worth mentioning it, so I wrote it down. And it starts with this weird Zarude song, which Zarude.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Fun
this
fact,
is
that's also
weird.
in the Japanese one, and they just translated the lyrics. So.
It just threw me a little bit
Because I bought the soundtracks.
Yes,
and so
we do have the soundtrack for the Zarude film.
It came with a card which had Zarude on it.
It's true. Joe's got a Zarude collection of cards now. And yes, so we immediately see a lot of Zarude, and they are scary. They are very scary.
They're
The
violent.
the big wide eyes. Obviously
Yeah.
based on
Monkeys.
monkeys. And monkeys can be really scary. But Zarude, very scary Pokemon. If I was making a top whatever scary Pokemon YouTube video, Zarude will be on it.
Yeah.
After Igglybuff, right?
Yes, definitely.
They did in that first trailer where they revealed Zarude, they did a really good job by putting it in Glimwood Tangle of making it feel very like haunting and like the eyes are watching you in the forest kind of thing. And I was, very cool.
So, brief story. I forget to say this at the start. I should have said this at the start. If you have not seen the film and you don't want to be spoiled, this whole episode might spoil things for you. Please
will.
come. This is going to be on. If you're on Twitch right now, this is going to be on YouTube later. Please come back when you've seen the film. If you don't care about spoilers, please keep on watching. But I hold no responsibility if you get spoiled on this film and you don't want to be. That's on you. So I'm always really bad at giving a brief overview of the film, so I'm be just going over the main points. Joe, we haven't done the blurb yet.
We haven't done the blurb.
Joe's blurbs. You can tell we've not done this for 15 months. I'm sorry that this is a bit of
we're out
a
of practice.
bit of a mess.
Well, I don't have
but
the back of the DVD. So
Joe doesn't have a back of a DVD or Blu-ray.
Instead, I've got the back of the
Joe.
surface. Deep within the forest of Akoya, the mythical Pokemon Zarude live in a troop and maintain a strict rule that forbids outsiders from entering their territory. Elsewhere in the jungle lives Coco, a human boy raised by a lone Zarude who left the troop. Coco has grown up, never doubting that he is a Zarude, but one day a chance meeting with Ash and Pikachu leaves Coco with his first human friend. Is he truly a Pokemon, or is he, in fact, a human? It already said, a human boy. When danger threatens the jungle, the bonds between Pokemon and human and the love between a parent and a child will be put to the test.
Ooh. I love your dramatic blurb readings. You're really good at that.
Thank you.
Can't wait for your speech at the wedding. So, brief story. So, I never know how to start these, and my notes are always such a mess. You have a Zarude. We go into the film, bunch of Zarude, who then ends up being Dada Zarude, finds a child in the middle of the jungle, no other humans around, and Zarude's like, whoa, there's a human child here, takes it back to the tribe. The tribe, very scary Zarude tribe, we're like, whoa, no, it is the law, it's the rules that you're not bringing a human here, we gotta protect our healing spring, this magical spring. So Zarude's like, well, I guess I'm gonna leave the tribe then and go find this kid's parents. And Zarude, Dada Zarude, soon learns in the travels that this baby, this child's parents are probably dead. Finds a picture of these humans holding baby in an abandoned lab, and Zarude decides to bring the child up as its own. So at the start, we're already feeling like Tarzan and Jungle Book vibes, you know, child being brought up in the jungle by
Kangaskhan
animals.
Kid vibes.
So you know, that's the general vibe at this point. Good luck, I can't make sense of my notes. So at this point, how are we feeling? Are we thinking, oh great, it's gonna be like another Jungle Book, like Tarzan at this point?
Like, comparatively to Tarzan, which, I mean, it's flat out a Tarzan ripoff with a couple tweaks, right? And comparatively, I'd obviously, if you said to me, you know, going forward,
I mean, it ends a lot differently, but
it ends very differently. I would just choose to watch Tarzan. It's the same essential premise, but I did enjoy it felt that they were taking a different direction, and at this point in the film, certainly, it's very much like, oh, cool, we're going to do a story about, you know, fathers and sons and parents and children, and that's kind of different for Pokemon. That's not something really they've really,
fathers
I feel like, dabbled
in the
in before in the
Pokemon
films.
universe.
Huh?
Dads in the Pokemon universe.
I know.
Actually, I didn't put this on my notes. Ash mentions his father.
Ash is like, oh yeah, my dad, who he just knows. And I mean, I think that's so fun because it just means all these years he's been traveling around with Ash, like with all of his companion friends, and just sort of been, you know, they're always like,
they kind of brush over
his
that.
dad just never comes up in conversation, and I love this idea that like his dad is literally sitting at home. And is just off camera all the time. He just doesn't like being mentioned. And when he gets home and you know, Misty and Brock are there and they're like, hi, Delia, how's it going? And then this guy comes out and they're just like, who's this? And I'm just like, oh, it's my dad. You have a dad? Yeah,
One
my dad,
day in the anime, or like, just this guy will show up. It's like,
it's
and
so
like, they
nonchalant.
won't make a big deal out of it. It's like, oh, hi, dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think in this film, that was one of the most just mentioned his dad moments. Yeah, that was pretty. That was more shocking than it should have been. And then Joe was all like, "But we know who his dad is."
It's Bruno. Yeah.
No, it's Silver.
Of the Giovanni. So,
So Ash doing Ash stuff bumps into this researcher Sharon, who is sampling water for Biotope, I think was the name of the researchers. This water is magical and healing. This is like 10 years later now, by the way, and we do actually see this point, and this is something I'm interested to hear what Toby thinks as well. We see Team Rocket, and I think this is the only time we see them in their uniform. Is at the start of the film, and it is short vest top, Jesse, which in my head means same universe as the last Pokemon movie, The Power of Us timeline.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. That would make sense to me. Yeah,
that's the only time we've seen Jesse in a little vest top instead of a more sleeved garment.
Yeah, that's right.
And because in the rest, again, Team Rocket useless in this film. Like they really do feel like an afterthought. Team Rocket very rarely play much of a role. I think they're just.
I'm gonna be honest. Team Rocket felt like an afterthought. I felt Ash felt like an afterthought.
Actually.
In some ways, Ash was not the main character of this movie.
Ash was not.
Coco's the main character, right? But I felt very similarly about The Power of Us. But in my mind, I Choose You, The Power of Us, and Secrets of the Jungle are all part of the same continuity, which is less so obviously I Choose You happens first. But the other two, they could happen in any order. Yeah. They could be in any region. It's just a chronicling of these Pokemon events, which I think is a cool direction to go. It's like, we're not worried about like how that one relates to that one. You notice that we like never see the other Pokemon on Ash's team, which is so funny.
I was thinking about that with the anime as well the other day. It's like, we don't...
Ash was going to try and catch the Cramorant at least.
Yeah. But no, you're right. We don't see Ash's other Pokemon.
This extra universe, so
they could happen at any time, but
they really don't want you thinking about it as like
where does it fit in, because that was one of the questions I would ask on Movie Club, like where does this fit in with the anime, because I guess part of it, and the same with World of Pokemon. Oh, I love Cramorant. The thing is with like having World of Pokemon at the start, it's one of those like when you're doing a film, it's like you want people to just, if they've never seen a Pokemon episode, to come in and enjoy it for what it is, not have to know a backstory, for parents to kind of get the gist of it.
The assumption is it's happening in Galar, right? Because obviously lots of the wild Pokemon are Galar Pokemon.
Yeah.
Although you could make the argument that it's happening in the Pokemon Snap region, right? Because there's
no. Oh,
spoilers! We'll get onto that.
No, because in New Pokemon Snap, it says there's a tooltip about the pictures in Professor Mirror's lab, and it says it's a place in a distant region. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, is these hints for the new region?" And people were like, "No, this is from a movie." And then the movie came out on DVD in Japan, and people were like, "Well, wait, these are the same people." Sorry about jumping ahead 2 minutes, but
my bad.
Quite a few minutes, actually. Rita and Phil are in this movie. So this was meant to come out, as we said, last July. Well, July 2020. And instead it came out Christmas Day 2020. Pokemon Snap came out April 2021.
This is a really interesting thing. Because this means this Easter egg, we're viewing it in reverse. The intention was that we would watch the movie, there would be these interesting animated characters in the background and no one would think anything of it. And then Pokemon Snap would come out and you go, that's the building from the movie. And then observer people would go back and watch the movie. And so like that's the intended viewing order. Oh, I guess so. But we're kind of, I didn't know that they were in the Coco movie or anything. But yeah, we're kind of viewing it now as this kind of like, we already know them. They're from Pokemon Snap. Whereas it should be like,
more of a...
Did you know that they're in the movie? Really? What? It would be more hidden Easter egg type thing.
I really like that was thought out all that time ago. I love that.
It is possible that because of the delay they managed to add it in and it wasn't originally intended. Because
that's true.
Because it was like a blink and you miss it thing there on there for like 2 seconds. They just added it in,
they didn't do anything.
September last year or October last year.
So yeah, oh man, we have like gone all over my
We
notes
always
already.
do.
We always do.
It's the fun of it, isn't it?
So eventually, Ash and Coco bump into each other. Coco has a massive falling out with Zarude. Like, wait, why aren't you being honest with me? I'm not a Zarude. Like, am I? Like, why can't I use powers? And it's like, man, Zarude, just tell Coco he's human. But and then at this point, because I thought at the start of the film when the Zarude were all talking English, I was like, oh, we got talking Pokemon now. That's not telepathy. Because Toby's gonna love that.
Yeah.
But no, it turns out it was more just for the benefit of the audience, and they are speaking like Pokemon language.
Their own language, which I much preferred.
Yes.
I thought. At first, I went when I watched the trailer or I watched the clip. I was like, "Oh, why are they talking?" Because I'm watching the clip out of context. The moment you sort of watch it within the context of the movie, you're like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're good with that."
So Coco only speaks Pokemon and doesn't speak English.
But he says goes Zarude and whatnot. But it's like if like a Hoppip is raised by a group of Shroomish, would the Hoppip then say Shroomish?
This is
tree-
what
Because technically
Or
Coco
on
should
a
be saying
Hoppip.
Coco.
Yes, true.
this is where my head really starts to hurt with Pokemon language, and
They should have just kept it as growls.
like maybe like Pokemon saying their names like that. It gets messy. It really does.
Especially when you include foreign Pokemon.
Yeah, right.
It's like the Japanese anime we've seen in trailers, the Grookey that Go has. It sounds like it's saying Grookey.
And that's not its name in Japan.
No, it's not.
That's so weird. That's happened a lot with the dubbing. Coming over here as well. Like
Like Onyx.
some things they don't
Onyx,
change.
they
and
don't change, but Onyx is actually roaring Iwak.
Yeah.
And same with Charizard, because it's not going roar, it's going Lizardon.
Got ya.
It happens. It happens. So, you know, when Coco and Ash meet after falling out with Zarude, and Coco's like, wow, like, you're a human. Like, I think the hand thing is on one of these scenes here. And Coco's like, man, it's this person's like me. It's kind of like Tarzan meeting Jane moment. And, you know, Coco learning bits of English. And, yeah, it's not just he can talk to all Pokemon. It would seem
All Pokemon can talk to each other, so.
And this
Don't
is
question the logic.
this is what I was saying to Joe earlier, because it just hit me earlier on. It's like, so Pokemon can all talk to each other of the same like species or whatever. What was it I said?
I don't remember. You say a lot of things.
Like, and Pokemon can understand humans and follow human speak and can understand or get the gist of English.
Yeah.
And dogs can understand commands of English and like what we teach dogs, but we don't understand dog.
No.
We don't understand anything. We don't understand dog talk.
Dogs do not understand the English language.
They kind of do.
As a language.
Like they know their name.
No, they respond to sounds, they respond to tones, but they're not like, it's not like they know what the word apple means as a concept until you're like.
But if you said like the same word
I don't think it's the
in
same
different
thing.
tones, dogs can understand more English than we understand of dog. And I think like it's the same with Pokemon. You need to give them more credit. They're clever. They understand human.
They understand, but they're not understand. I don't think they are under. Animal behaviorists can change my mind. I don't think they are understanding it in the same way that we learn languages and understand languages. I think it's a slightly different process, right? It's not like I'm finding it hard to articulate. It's not like they're like, now I understand English, but now I understand consonants and vowels.
But
It's more a case of like a very limited set of specific.
But if we hear the same, like,
in the same way
in
that
different
yeah,
tones.
but I think we do understand
Not- I
dogs
don't
in that
think
same
as
way.
much.
The point now.
Anyway, but apparently look, just quickly skimming through
Okay.
chat. Apparently he says Coco before he learns English, which that's a massive hole.
Well, that's his name.
Yeah, I know, but how would a
But it's
Zarude
only his
say
name.
Coco?
It's only his
How
name
would-
because he says
How
it.
would a Zarude say in Zarude language when all they can say is Zarude, Zarude? How would they say?
How does a Meowth speak?
There's a hole here. Like, how would he know his name is Coco in
Anyway,
human
move
speak? We learn, like, you know, eventually Coco go back to the jungle like, hey, you lied to me, I'm human. And Saru's like, oh, they like fall out and stuff. And eventually, you know, Saru takes him to the lab like, you know, I found this picture. I'm guessing that baby's you. This is your parents, I assume. But the lab is a mess and abandoned. And Ash recognized the symbol. They go to the researchers, and the big baddie guy, Zed, was like, oh, this is the son of people who used to work here. I can't remember
The
his...
obvious bad guy who is
obvious
mega
bad
bad
guy.
because obviously
He's called
he's
Zed
evil.
and has a
Zed.
ponytail in the shape of a Z.
I hadn't
Yeah.
actually noticed that, but that's very observant of you, Joe. He was like, oh, well, your parents worked here. There was an accident. And we learned there's death there's very rarely mentions of death in Pokemon. They have been getting a bit more relaxed about it of late,
Yeah.
since really Sun and Moon with the
Stoutland.
Stoutland. So they're,
Yeah.
they're a lot more chill about mentioning death in Pokemon these days.
Not just mentioning it.
Okay, well, we'll
showing-
get
Oh,
on to
yeah.
that.
That Luxray in the I Choose
Yeah.
You movie got
The
wrecked.
snubble in The Power of Us.
Okay.
Oh,
And then Zed was like, mate, can you show us where this spring is? And because Zed really wants this spring to heal people, and like, because they've heard of this magical spring, they want to heal people. Oh, and before we get on to that, I've skipped a bit. Toby, did you see Mother and Child?
I did see Mother and
Mo-
Child. I saw
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Mother and Child, Tick. Were they in I Choose You?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mother and Child Easter egg. They were seen in the town when Ash was showing Coco around, like, doing human stuff.
Mhm.
So Mother and Child fans, we found them. Keep an eye.
We got them.
I don't know. Do you find yourself these days, Toby? It's like, I'll keep my eye out for Mother and Child. Where are they? Because that's what I was like with this film. It's like, I'm
I actually
waiting.
don't, because
Where are
It's
they?
like
I
Stanley.
don't.
Yeah, where's...
I don't find myself looking for them anymore because I'm like, I don't think they hide them very well. So it's just like, yeah, they'll turn up, and I'll recognize them. So I don't think they hide them very well.
This one was quite obvious of a Mother and Child appearance. I feel sometimes they can be very, very
Subtle.
quick and subtle. Yeah. So yeah, this spring, and then Coco, you know, Ash was like, sorry buddy, your parents are not of this world anymore.
So you did.
And then
They did.
Zed puts a tracking device sneaky onto Coco, so they find where this, like, magical spring is.
He had to have had that tracking in his pocket.
Yeah, he must have known.
Who
Yeah, it's very
carries a
opportune.
tracking
Tracking
device
device.
with them like that at all times?
Man, you know, this is kids' film, man. We should be nicer. And we eventually learn about the whole Celebi link. When they're in the town, this happens a bit before, actually. they're celebrating. They're having fireworks. They're celebrating Celebi, who only appears when everything's peaceful. But they hadn't seen Celebi for some time, and when Celebi vanishes, there's an egg left behind, and some say it's from the future. This is going to be important later on. I still think they're kind of shoehorning.
No, it makes so much sense,
Right.
and I will explain it and why this is the best Celebi movie ever.
Well, when we get there, I need it explained to me, because I'm pretty sure Celebi made no sense in this movie.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Do you know what? Go for it now.
Okay.
Do you want to go for it?
Because I've made a dog's dinner of explaining this film.
Celebi, when it disappears, it leaves an egg. The Zarude, which becomes Dada Zarude, doesn't know its family, and the elder says that he found this Zarude shortly after he last saw Celebi.
Mm-hmm.
So
Celebi egg.
that implies that Celebi left the egg which hatched this Zarude. Now, at the start of the movie, when Zarude is finding Coco, there's a load of pink sparkles just around. It's like, what's that? What's that? And then at the end of the movie, you see those pink sparkles again, and Zarude turns around and there's Celebi. So that implies that Celebi leads Zarude to Coco. So Celebi sent the Zarude egg back from the future to get the Zarude there, to look after Coco, to bring order to the forest. So it's a predestination time loop to get the forest to be perfect again. And Celebi is a god.
Okay, so that's fine. Like, oh, so Celebi was behind it all, really? But then it's like,
it still feels a bit shoehorned in. It could have.
It's not shoehorned in.
It really could have.
It kind of does.
It really could have just been.
You can.
They did this in a way that you're meant to work it out yourself, like with Sammy
It's
Oak
a
being
kids'
Sam.
film, though.
Yeah, you can remove Celebi from the film, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same movie.
No, this isn't like removing
changes.
Indiana Jones from the first Indiana Jones movie. Celebi is pivotal to this plot. If Celebi didn't do what it did, none of this would have happened.
Right.
No, but if you write out Celebi, if you just don't write in
But then how
the
would
fact about
Zarude
the
find Coco? How would Zarude exist?
right,
It wouldn't have been brought back in time.
No, the Zarude existed anyway.
Why not?
Zarude could have just heard a baby crying in the jungle after the accident.
Absolutely.
Like, the baby could have just
Absolutely.
floated down
The
the river
Zarude that
or
live in the
something
troop
a
would have
basket.
eaten the baby.
But he still, like, he found...
Because this is a kind Zarude that was sent back from the future as a baby and raised by the elder. It's a calmer, gentler Zarude.
Okay, but
it could have just been the elder Zarude that
They
found
would have
it.
eaten
Like,
it.
it could have just been Zarude find baby, Zarude take care of baby, grow up. I don't think we need
feel
the
like
Celebi
I saw
element.
Celebi at the end. I saw Celebi at the end.
You're both wrong.
It can
No,
still
listen,
be a
when I
nice,
watch
this is a human and Pokemon bridging the gap. Let's all be friends film.
When I saw this,
think it needed Celebi.
so
Be
the elder
pivotal to
Zarude,
the
like,
plot.
the elder Zarude was like, oh yeah, you know, it's last time I saw Celebi was right before you arrived, and Celebi brings an egg from the future, and he found an egg, and it's like, okay, so that's Zarude. And then at the end, Celebi shows up, and I just remember going like, I'm sure there's a thread there somehow, and you've just explained it, and that's fine. But I'm pretty
Like,
sure
I
if you
get
just
it.
They did it in
If
a
you
way
went-
that you're meant to work it out yourselves, like Sammy in the first Celebi
That was
movie
still a
being
lot
Samuel Oak.
easier to figure out than
That
this.
was only easier to figure out because the dub version added
don't
6
think- I
scenes
don't
to
think-
explain it to you.
Oh.
I don't think it was like hard to work out. I just don't think the revelation was particularly exciting because it doesn't really feel like Celebi. Again, you could just go through the script, cross out Celebi's name, remove the bit about the time travel egg, and just have this Zarude just be the one member of the pack who's decent.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. It's the same film. So, whereas obviously the whole point of the fourth movie Celebi film with the time travel is like, of course, it has to be like it's Samuel Oak, and that's like the whole function of the film.
Because we
And so
already have a
obviously Celebi
connection
central
to Professor Oak as well.
Yeah,
We've got the connection to Celebi.
But
Look, I get you like Celebi.
I had a theory
get
in
it.
why it was shiny Celebi though. It's a very,
Okay.
very weak theory. Basically, they thought about having it as Celebi, because that's kind of where we are with the mythicals and going back through them again. And instead of a green or oniony yellow green cape, to make it stand out more and make Zarude look a lot different.
That's
so it's
the other
pink.
thing. That's the other thing. No, we didn't talk about this. We need to talk about this. So, okay, and then it's like, oh, and Zarude's cape, the thing that must have belonged to Coco's parents beforehand.
He found it in the lab.
He found it in the lab. It's got Celebi on it. And it's like in Gala, obviously it's like the gym number uniforms, but it's that. But I'm like, okay, so hang on. But then what connection did Coco's parents
It was
have
probably
to
just
Zarude?
It's probably part of the celebrations of the town.
The celebrations of the town, which was where the fireworks all came in.
I felt the implication was with it having the number on the bit of clothing is it's very, very, very reminiscent of how in Galar all the gym leaders have gym numbers and stuff. So I was like, were they like a Celebi trainer? Or
I think you're overthinking it there.
I mean, I think so. But also, Celebi's lore kind of gets changed not changed, but like it's expanded with this because the whole thing about Celebi going back in time and leaving an egg from the future, I'm pretty sure the idea of that is that Celebi is leaving its own egg or an egg of another Celebi to become protector of a forest when it hatches.
The
kind of
egg
thing.
is rude.
Is in in previous films and in previous media, like that's a Pokédex entry for Celebi, right? Is that it brings eggs from the future. And that in this film, it's dealing with Zarude eggs, and I just wonder, like, does Celebi just go around snatching random eggs and like just time travel?
That poor
time travel. Easter egg
mother.
hunts. Yeah.
This is Zarude.
Yeah.
So poor. Then
There
again,
is a Zarude
all the
parent in the
Zarude
future.
are very masculine sounding. Not gonna assume here, but is Zarude genderless?
Mm-hmm.
Okay then.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon.
But there's still
hang
a
on, I'm
parent
pretty sure.
Zarude somewhere who's like, where my egg at? I'm sure I just laid an egg.
Head on over to
Celebi's
Celebi.net
stolen
and have
it.
a quick
And also,
look at Celebi.
when Celebi disappears deep in the forest, it's said to leave behind an egg it brought from the future.
Oh,
Right, yeah. So
it's
that's not
canon
new to this
Pokedex.
film. Yeah, it's like part of the Pokedex is that
It
it
doesn't
does
say
that.
a
And like,
Celebi egg, though.
it doesn't.
That
I thought
that was an
kind of the
inference from you.
implication. So, does that mean that in other regions it brings around Zarude eggs?
No.
And that maybe there is just some bond between
It brings
Zarude.
around
Or it's just
Pokemon
any
that
eggs.
needs to be in a certain place at a certain time.
To bring peace.
Celebi
Do you know
goes from
what?
place to place to put right
Thank
what
you.
once went wrong.
Thank you so much for bringing up that Pokedex entry because I didn't know that, and now I'm absolutely
There you go.
more on board with this. That it is a Pokedex entry
And
from Soul
it only
Silver,
appears in peaceful times.
and it
that's
only
normal.
appears in peaceful times. And now that I know that in relation to the Pokedex, I am way more on board with this situation because that's actually quite deep. Like, okay, for the general, like, youngster kid, like, watching this, it'd be pretty cool. They get the gist of it. But if you really know your Pokemon lore and knew that Pokedex entry, and that Pokedex entry is really old, and it all comes back round, because that's a really weird thing to say in a Pokedex entry with nothing to back it up, and no example of Celebi doing that kind of thing. And now, to me, that actually makes so much more sense.
Yeah, well, the implication is that throughout history, forests like Ilic's forest, for example, or like the one from the fourth movie, these forests are protected by Celebi. The Celebi is the guardian of the forest. And then it continues to protect the forest throughout time by
Giving eggs.
hatching more Celebi or just leaving its egg behind when it leaves and that kind of thing to go and defend
I
a
don't
new
think
time.
they're
or
necessarily
whatever.
Celebi eggs. I think that's
But no,
where you
it
get in
doesn't have to be. It could well literally just be like
any egg.
when Celebi disappears through time.
leaves a
and the
Finneon egg.
call of the forest happens, it leaves a Finneon egg. That's it.
Can we talk about the final battle and how beautifully animated that was?
How great. How, comparing the first bunch of Pokemon movies to where we are now in 2021, that 3D animation at the end, that mech, wouldn't be a Pokemon movie without a mech, would it? Maybe they put that in as a throwback to the mech in Pokemon Forever. I don't know. but it was seamless. Like now you could the blend of sometimes when you put 3D and 2D animation together, it can look really jarring, but now we're at a point where they can work so well together and not look completely out of place. And the 3D robot mech
and the battle with all the Pokemon flying in, the choreography of it,
of that final battle,
and the soundtrack with it. It's like
before this bit though, I would like say I feel like it went on a bit longer than it had to, like, because they did a whole flashback thing and more explaining on
showing the first person in the Pokemon thing to actually murder someone.
The accident that happened and how Coco's parents didn't want Zed to find a spring because it would disturb the Pokemon, and it's their spring and all that. And then like Zed was like no, and then car accident, dead parents. I feel like that. This is where I started to kind of lose focus and get distracted. Personally, I feel like it went on a bit longer.
It could have been a bit earlier in the movie, so it wasn't interrupting the final action.
Yeah, I just felt like it dragged a bit. But the final choreography, when you have Pikachu like flying between the Pokemon and around the mech. I mean, Pikachu had many opportunities to iron tail that mech, but it just kept going.
That's because the mech started being defensive, and sometimes if you're going in, you're going to attack, and they get defensive, you have to back up and go in again.
That was really good choreography.
Yeah,
that was beautiful. Really clever.
And the soundtrack is fantastic in this movie.
Yes. Although the starting with Zaru did throw me a little bit.
That was great.
Yeah. Toby, what are you thinking about the animation and the visuals?
I think the Pokemon movies,
setting.
I think this trio of movies so far, the Power of Us and I Choose You and this one, like I think they look fantastic. I think they get better and they look better every single time, and the music's great. So I've got no issues with that. My issues with these movies tend to come more towards the stories. And actually, even with this one, like, I think the story was fine. Was it revolutionary? Would I choose it over, like, again, like Tarzan? No, probably not. But, like, for a Pokemon film, I really feel like this alternate universe Ash set of films is, like, really, like, it's better than Pokemon movies have been typically for, like, the last 15-ish years. So I'm all for it. Like, I think best Pokemon movies, the oldest ones and the newest ones, you know? Well, not I Choose You, but that's for a different reason. Looks great. Anyway, we're on this film. It looks good.
The whole art style of the last few films, like, this film's beautiful. This film is absolutely beautiful. I can't fault, you feel the environment, you feel it's a jungle, it feels very alive, bright, colourful. Joe says that scene's not in the movie, the Greedon. Yeah, I can't fault it, and the fact that mech looked so cool for 3D animations. I was surprised though, because I was expecting, it's kind of a thing that I keep bringing up in Movie Club as well, that usually the film kind of starts with a whole 3D environment thing. I feel like that's happened more times than not. I know, maybe it's just me. But I was expecting to go in with some kind of 3D forest, but it wasn't. The 3D we actually got at the end of the film. Got to use up that remaining budget. So, like, what budget do we have left for anything 3D?
I definitely could have gone for this same film without the mech, and like without the human villain. I really think you could have had one of the Zarudes be a villain, or because they did a good job of characterizing a number of them with different markings and different sizes.
Yeah, the Zarude looked different as well.
You could have had like a baddie Zarude.
They
kind of
were. They were kind of made out to be like the tribe in itself. I felt were kind of made out to be. Yeah, they don't care. Yeah. They would take everything they want. The jungle is theirs. They ate the other Pokemon's food. Like, they kind of did set the Zarude up to be an unreasonable species of Pokemon, and I in the end they chilled out and everyone became friends.
And they worked together to fight
Zed.
Yeah,
and Zed, like, we haven't mentioned. We got to talk about. Okay, Dada Zarude gets hurt.
Oh,
Yeah.
he bleeds. You see Pokemon blood in this.
And
Oh, here we go.
Coco, the human,
Use jungle healing.
used jungle healing and heals Dada Zarude.
Yep.
I guess, you know, Pokemon logic, tears can bring people back to life and stuff, and
It makes honestly, it's logically consistent with the rest of the Pokemon world. Like, you have trainers who are
Coco
psychics.
is a
you have trainers
Pokemon.
who do
Look
different
at
stuff.
that. He is a Pokemon.
Coco,
he's not though.
you have Pokemon. You have Pokemon who can learn human speech. You have humans like Coco, who again, like his Pokemon card, he can use a move.
Fun fact: his move is Tarzan kick.
Not even trying to hide it. Not even trying to hide it.
The blends between people and Pokemon in the Pokemon world are like they are made of the same magical life force,
In
infinite energy
Canalave
type
City,
stuff.
is it in Canalave City? There's
yeah.
a book which says that Pokemon and humans used to be the same.
Yeah, that they were the same in some way, and I don't think that is the case. That my current thesis on this is not that Pokemon and people evolved similarly, but Pokemon's its own different form of life. But the Pokemon world is, you know, everything was given life by Arceus and infinity energy and all that, and that is something that both people and Pokemon share, and in that way they are the same, and that they have crossover where sometimes people can become, you know, the fighting trainer class or the psychic trainer class or whatever. Meanwhile, some Pokemon have the intelligence or ability to communicate with people in the same way like Meowth does and that kind of thing. And yeah, that means that in times of desperation, totally, Coco can tap into that, and because he spent so much time, like I don't imagine he could start using flamethrower unless he was brought up by a group of like
Mentioning chat Zarude says you can call on the forest to heal, so he's just doing that. I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. It's like, it's a human
Maybe it called upon Celebi and Celebi got it.
And Celebi did that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more inclined to hope it was that than a human using.
I don't mind. I don't think humans in the Pokemon world and humans in the human world are the same thing.
So you think
that's a wrong way.
It's fine.
Completely normal for humans to develop Pokemon powers.
I mean, humans in the Pokemon world have got psychic powers often.
You literally have so many Pokedex talking about people becoming Pokemon. Yeah, I think it's pretty logically consistent with what we've had from Pokemon over the last 25 years, that this is something that is, while not common, a factor that happens in the Pokemon world. And it would make sense for a kid, within that context, for a kid who's been raised by Zarude, witnessed those attacks being used, witnessed those powers being used in a time of desperation, being able to do that. Totally flies. I'm okay with it.
I'm not surprised. I thought that would annoy you.
Nah.
Well, maybe
it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it is just you.
Like when I saw it happen, it's like, oh, he's not gonna. He
at least he didn't say that he always wanted to be with him. Actually, he did.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I think that's other than that,
Coco then left to go on his own journey.
Yes, and that also annoyed me because someone who grew up the last 10 years in a jungle with not really any interaction with the normal world. Where will he live? How will he pay for things?
He'll
Where
go
will
on a
he
journey
eat?
like Ash does.
And he has no clothes. And
How do
he
you think
barely
Ash
speaks
does this stuff?
human. He barely speaks human. It's like, well, he's gonna really struggle.
I know a lot of humans who barely.
Yeah,
I love the idea. I love the idea that he's going to go on this journey, right? He's going to catch Pokemon. He's going to return to the forest. He's going to be like, Dada. And Zarude's going to be like, Zarude. And then he's going to be like, Master Ball, go.
I mean, Ash owns his dad, Mr. Mime, so it can happen.
That's true. That's true.
It's not Ash's dad.
Of course.
This is why he did it so blasé. He's just like my dad, and like he knows what we're on.
Best of luck to Coco. On your own, and yeah, that's terrifying, and best of luck to him. Right, I think that's everything
Toby,
mentioned.
is there an IMDb review for this one?
I hadn't even remembered about that.
It's been
oh
a
my
week.
goodness, I'm going to have a
and
little
I'm pretty
Google.
sure
They did say it was the last
one that they were going to do. So,
but I'm pretty sure.
No, please tell me they came back. They gotta do it. Let me have a little look at the review section, which is user reviews. There's 16 user reviews.
just quickly skim through them because we are running a little late. Let's quickly read chat. Hope Coco doesn't go somewhere cold. He doesn't own a coat.
Well, maybe he'll get one and be called Coat.
See what I gotta put up with.
I'm here all day.
Someone's just put human using a Pokemon move,
Marty.
and that's like the
That
whole thing.
might be you found me on movie reviews. You found me.
I found you. I don't think that our friend from before is back. My camera's gone. I don't think our friend from before is back. However, general consensus is 5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Being generally positive, a couple of 4s, mediocre, 5, okay. But most of them are actually in the higher tiers, higher rankings. That said, I do think if you are the kind of person who cares so much for this movie that you've already dropped an IMDb review, it probably is going to lean pretty positive. Yeah.
So, what is Birdkeeper Toby's score out of 10? Last final thoughts.
I think it's like a somewhere between a 6 and a 7. I don't dislike it. There are elements about it that I'm like, again, Pokemon mech, clear villain. We know, come on. It's not super ambitious as a film. But within the rankings of Pokemon film, I definitely think it's somewhere like up mid kind of zone is where I'm feeling. It's not in the top tiers, but it's like it's getting there. It's getting close.
Cool. Joe?
I think it's one of the best Pokemon movies.
Without the bias?
I think it's one of the best Pokemon movies, and it's definitely one of my favourite Pokemon movies. The bit at the end where you've got Zarude and Celebi swinging through, that gets me. That gets me. It's like
We were never going to get...
It's like my boys, they're swinging. They think they're Spider-Man, they're swinging through.
Boys are back
It's like,
You're going to...
it does make me emotional. It's like, oh, they're together.
And Joe got so excited. He's like, there he is! Celebi at the end. And then Mia was like, when the film was wrapping up, it's like, where's Celebi? He's not even been in it.
And where's your ranking for this, Marty?
I'd have to agree. 6, 7 out of 10. Not the worst, not the best. I do have my... I guess I'm looking through adult eyes. And we gotta be real here. These films are
Not for
us. They're not for us. They're
True.
made.
If
They're
I was a
made
kid,
for
I'd be
people.
stoked
Yeah,
about this.
they're made for people, for children who don't overthink a human using a Pokemon move. Who will just accept that. Who don't overthink the fact that Coco straight up said Coco, but how would he have known his Coco name in English? If you don't overthink things, yeah, great. Like, fine. Because I know you want a 10 out of 10 it.
No,
regardless.
I wouldn't.
What's really
251 out of 10.
changed... What's really changed for me tonight, and how I see this as a whole, just learning about that Pokedex entry. Because that adds so much more context.
And with the whole
Which I didn't even know.
Everything together.
Yeah,
that-
knowing the Pokedex entries, and I feel like if you are a hardcore Pokemon fan and you knew that, clearly I'm not hardcore enough because I wasn't refreshed.
I can't marry you.
I wasn't refreshed on the Pokedex entries. Can't say I really read many of them after at all. Knowing that, everything makes so much more sense in the grand scheme of things. Sure, like, before that, did we need Celebi?
Yes.
It would still have been fine without
I will
that,
say...
because some Pokemon films with past movie clubs, I do feel like they try and shoehorn in the mythicals and the legendaries. Sometimes it feels very unnatural. But in this case, it's not too bad. We got 2 jungle forest Pokemon. It works. You know, it didn't feel too odd. And now that I know about the Pokedex situation, it makes so much more sense. I couldn't give it any more than a 7.
I will say though, Celebi only appearing for a short time at the end, it does have precedent because the same happened with Arceus in the Hooper movie, and Arceus was very big in the promotion of the Hooper movie. It happened with Lugia in the Zeraora movie, and Lugia was very big in the promotion.
Because at the end of the day, kids, shiny Pokemon sell.
Buy your merch.
Buy shiny Pokemon, right?
Woo!
Shiny Pokemon, money. So. Thanks, Toby. I just saw you give me your Prime on Twitch. Thank you very much. So yeah, overall, 6 or 7. Yeah, I'd agree with Toby on that.
8.
Positive
Oh, you got an
vibes.
8.
We like
What
that.
didn't you like about it?
9.3 out of 10.
What didn't Joe like about it? Not enough Celebi.
That's
Joe.
that's probably it for Joe.
There you go.
Cool. Well, this is where we're gonna wrap things up for you. Oh, quickly want to mention as well, you can buy this at the time of recording, early 2022, in manga form. Viz are doing manga adaptation as they do for all of the Pokemon films pretty much these days. So if you want a manga adaptation of the film, that is coming soon. And I put the picture on the layout because that's what I do. Because I see you, manga readers. I am one myself. Best friends. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is where we're going to leave you on YouTube. Let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what you think of the film. Be constructive. And I love reading the Movie Club comments because even months after we filmed these, I keep getting comments on Movie Club. You guys like these, and the comments are really, really interesting. And I see you binging through Movie Club and commenting on one video, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So let us know what you think in the comments, and smash that like button, and press the subscribe button as well for more Pokemon videos. And we'll see you guys next Movie Club, I guess.
Probably in 18 months.
In 18 months.
Hey!
Bye!